Welcome to Phil and Bob's Treehouse.
The Central Park trees covered in snow. Over the Hudson, the sunset glow. The smell of halal and jasmine rice creep on the corner. Don't look so nice. Now he's pooping. Why, I don't know. Life's full of mysteries. Now it's time for the show.
Hi, I'm Phil.
Hi, I'm Bob.
We live in New York City, home to the highlights, the lowlights, and everything in between. This is our take on the human carnival.
Hey, Phil.
Hello, Bob.
We are back in New York City to record our Midsummer Classic.
Yes, it's a tradition.
It is a tradition going on 2 summers now.
Correct. What's going on?
Well, I came back to the city.
Yes.
You can explain later why you're here, but...
Yeah, it's not very interesting.
Mine is like mildly interesting.
Yeah.
For our thousands of listeners. Shout out. I will admit something. This is sort of a confessional.
Is this the big one?
No, the big, no. I'm going to keep that secret for a little more. No, yeah. I'm of the age now.
Yes. Despite
my shocking good looks.
It's extraordinary.
Lean build.
You're aging well.
Yeah. I'm a silver fox.
Yes.
I got a dental implant.
What is that?
Okay, it sounds that sounds like senior citizens-ish, but a dental implant is basically what I like to call it is a bionic tooth.
Okay.
It is when somebody, through no fault of their own, it's just genetics, has, despite brushing their teeth and keeping great oral hygiene, just has genes that lead to tooth decay, and eventually a tooth gives out.
Yes.
And you have to, it's better to take it out and take a titanium rod and have it drilled into your jawbone.
Yeah.
And then when that sets, you go back 6 months later and they screw a permanent tooth there that will be in my mouth at my open casket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and you can, make it ceramic or you can have it gold or silver or polonium,
That's
whatever
nice.
you want. Yeah. I'm going to put a nice grill there and have some diamonds set in.
Good idea.
So I am not embarrassed. To anybody out there who has, dental difficulties,
yes,
this is like a game changer because, in the old days, when we were little, there were commercials for dentures. You don't see those anymore, right?
Dentures?
Yeah, like old people with fake teeth. I remember my grandma had dentures. I don't know if you remember.
Well, actually, go ahead. Yes.
It's disgusting. They were like plastic
teeth.
The
dentures not exist anymore?
I don't think so because you can get bionic teeth
but
now.
It's probably more expensive.
Well, it's probably more expensive, but it's just a real solution. It is actually a tooth that is better than calcium jaw. It's titanium.
Yeah.
And they put a hard metal on there that's also, when you pass, your children and grandchildren, if things are not going well for them, they possibly pop out and melt down. So...
like in World War II with the Jews.
Yeah, your people will have experience with this.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm so happy with the process.
Oh, good.
It's amazing. I went in, it's 24 hours removed from me. I seem chipper.
You seem fine.
There's no swelling. I'm talking
Were you
fine.
in pain? Is that why you went in?
No, man. I love science.
Oh, okay.
They just numb you up.
No, but I mean, that's why you went initially.
Oh, initially, yes, when the tooth was, I was like, why am I having all these headaches? And I touched my tooth and it was loose.
Yeah.
And then it was, the dentist, I was like, I'm so ashamed, I'm only 50 years old. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And he was like, sometimes it's just, it is what it is.
Right.
So I went in yesterday. He cuts your jaw.
Yeah.
I mean, he cuts your gum.
This is an oral surgeon?
Oral surgeon. Yeah. Cuts your gum.
Yeah.
Drills your jaw, which you can't feel, but you can sense the pressure because of all the narcotics.
Yeah.
And then he drills the titanium post in.
And
in the middle of the surgery, him and the little girl, the assistant, they like run behind something and they take an x-ray while they're doing the thing to make sure it's all set. And then they like inject this bone graft material all around it.
Yeah.
Then they stitch it back up. And like half an hour later, I'm like good to go.
Oh, that's
modern medicine.
Medicine.
They load you up with these antibiotics.
Right.
Because, they've exposed your jaw to the open air. And I take these horse pills for 10 days. I'm good as gold.
Well, that's it's all good news.
Yeah. So I probably, but honestly, people, our cohort, our college classmates, our high school classmates.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed. There's no shame. If you need to get it, go. There's no. You go for the implant. We need to rebrand it. It needs to be called the bionic tooth.
Yes. Well, I don't know what to say about all this, other than it's just.
How about congratulations?
Congratulations, and you must be proud of your new tooth.
Yeah. I did want to bring it back to New York City though.
Okay.
Because
let's see how this is connected.
Well, I was sitting there, and one of the thoughts that went through my head was that scene in the classic movie, The Marathon Man, starring Dustin Hoffman.
I saw it.
Alleged sexual harasser now, Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
Where there's a scene where he's getting tortured.
Famous. Yeah. Laurence Olivier
is torturing him by like drilling his teeth with no
going, is
anesthetic.
It safe? Is it safe?
I forget why he was being tortured.
Well, there was the Nazi. He was a Nazi.
Yeah, there was
doctor,
a Nazi thing.
But I couldn't. Honestly, I read so that I don't remember. Why he thought. What's his name was connected? He had a brother, I think, actually in the movie. He was his brother worked with, I don't remember.
Some CIA. That movie.
There was a connection.
And 3 Days of the Condor also set in New York City. I feel like at some point when I get dementia, I'm going to confuse those two films. It's the same film.
And equally not understandable plots, basically. Yeah. Well, no, the Marathon Man plot was more easy to understand. I saw, as an aside, the 3 Days movie.
Yeah.
I rewatched that maybe like 6 months ago.
Robert Redford.
And there's a famous scene, that scene where in the beginning, it's near where I grew up, where he goes in the deli, he goes to the diner.
Yeah.
So the office he works for is
like a secret CIA office on the Upper East Side.
On the Upper East Side, and then he's like, I'm gonna go for lunch, and he goes to the diner, and while he's gone, everybody in the office is shut up.
Yeah,
and he comes back.
That's a great the movie started great, and then it kind of
dissolved into
it's a slow burn at best.
But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, we digress.
Sorry, the Marathon Man.
So I was thinking of that, and then I was thinking this guy, this oral maxillofacial surgeon.
Yeah,
he's doing God's work.
Okay.
And because he sits there every day.
Yeah.
And just slicing into.
Just doing disgusting
things. You could not pay me enough to
I know.
Cut someone's jaw and look at their mouth.
Yes, I agree.
Then that got me thinking of just the hole that is our mouth. And, and just thinking of the shameful holes throughout our body.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I sat there thinking, I'm going to rank in order of shame to least shame.
Is it more shame?
The orifices in our body.
So the shame is not, this is more shame than being a certain age and having a fake tooth.
Yes.
This is just a
just baseline
scatological shame.
Yes. I mean, clearly, and we don't want to be scatological. Yeah. Below the belt, there's the shame hole. The shame hole. The digestive hole.
Yes.
You have the urogenital hole, right? I think that's next. That's second least worst.
True.
Then you come north of the border and you go up to the head, right?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so then I'm going to jump now to the top, the least shameful.
Yes.
Got to be the eyes.
True.
Right? They're the windows to the soul.
That's what they
say.
Right?
You see other people.
Yeah.
Very empathetic.
Yeah.
Then the ears, next least shameful, because you listen. And if you have decent hygiene, you keep your ears clean.
Yeah.
If someone said he's the best listener in the world, that's a compliment, right?
Right.
Which kind of, contrasts with now we're moving to the facial, more to the lower face, the mouth. If someone's a good talker, it's kind of like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
He's a really good talker. He's a shyster.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the mouth, the nose, and, they're connected, at the back, the nasopharyngeal complex back there. I would say the next least shameful after the ears would probably be the nose.
Yeah.
We smell so much of our, you smell something, it reminds you of your childhood or whatnot. Again, assuming you keep good hygiene.
Yeah.
Then there's the mouth, which I think I would have to put at the bottom of the facial orifices because
it's disgusting.
The mouth is, first it has teeth.
Yes.
When you really think about it, the teeth are a very violent sort of, it's just sort of primitive appendage in your, you think of movies like Aliens. Remember when the alien had like 3 sets of mouths that would telescope out and they were really scary?
Yeah.
Our teeth are evolved to be a little less scary as humans, as hairless apes.
Yeah.
But so there's that, the teeth.
Yeah.
And then there's the fact that if you think about it, it's just the beginning of the shame hole.
Right.
Of the downstairs shame hole.
Well,
it's one big tube.
That's true. It's a tube. I mean, the body is disgusting, and there's the reason why. There's many reasons I never went to medical school. Number one, I had bad grades. And 2, it's not just part of my nature, and 3, it's fucking disgusting.
Yes.
And oftentimes, especially this bringing back to New York, especially on a hot, sweaty day like today, when I walk around the city, and sometimes I think about I see folks who might be in need of emergency help.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we've spent the last, month, say, I have anyway, in the Cape Cod area. Mm-hmm. I've said this before, near Provincetown, the homosexual mecca.
Yes.
And, the beach, and it's very removed. It's more in nature. And last night we drove here, and I got in, 2 nights ago, around 11:30. Mm-hmm. And we went out to the Korean deli because we had no food in the house.
Okay.
And
shout out to our very first episode, Korean deli.
And so, of course, we take a step out, go right, left, and it's like you're in, there's a guy lying on the street, and there's a whole 5 can guys acting crazy. So we had to cross the street, and the deli was closed, but there's another one down another block. And of course, on the way there is a guy drooping over a can. And I was like, oh my God, I've been in this thing forever. But anyway, back to the holes in the body.
Yeah.
I'm always just revolted by, if you're a cop or an ambulance guy, an EMT, and someone is what if there's a guy who really needs you need to assist someone.
But he's really dirty.
But it's just dirty. It's just and I don't want to help clean people either. But I'm always oh my God, it's just a terrible job. And you see these guys, they wear gloves and everything. Yeah. But it's you have to have a certain, ability to overlook and disgustingness.
I know. That's why I started this thing by saying this guy is doing God's work. I mean, I guess he is probably he's only... The doctor that is above him, I think, is the one that focuses down there. The fine people that are doing the colonoscopies and.
God, that's But when this guy's sitting in his he probably lives on Long Island or something, and he's sitting by his pool, and he probably makes a good salary. He's I'm glad I went to. Whatever
dental school.
And last time, actually, the one time I had a dental problem a few years ago. I was in so much pain. It was a toothache, I guess. It was I had to have a root canal.
Yeah.
But I was all night. It was so much pain, and they finally squeezed me in the next day.
Yeah.
But when I left the guy's office, he solved it. In half an hour.
I know. I think
I was oh my God, I can't believe there are dentists. It's almost like someone just saved your life.
I know. Actually, it's funny. I'm recording this 24 hours from the procedure. I feel like I'm in the honeymoon period. I'm this guy is Albert Einstein.
No, I said I literally I almost called my son. You're going to be a dentist. I want you to be a dentist.
Well, anyway, I'll wrap it up. I guess then the last tangent I went on was I was you know what?
This is all when you're sitting in the chair.
And afterwards, I was walking. It might have been the narcotics.
Let's face facts. It's not a profound experience.
I was high as a kite.
Yeah.
Then I started thinking, I was man, we're just tubes.
That's true. It's an in-out.
Yeah, we're from earthworm to a dragonfly.
Yeah.
To
that's true.
A bear.
Yeah.
To us.
Yeah.
It just we're a tube. Something goes in, nutrients go in, waste goes out.
That's true.
And all the other things, the other holes I mentioned, I think then I was starting to wax poetic. That's where the beautiful stuff happens outside the tube. Sight, hearing, smell, the genital stuff, not the Euro part. But recreation, art, music, that's what makes life good. But the tube part, that's just business. And that's why the dentists and the proctologists deserve, they are the tube doctors.
Yes. But I mean, everything inside is just disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, the liver and stuff's no fun. It's just gross. It's innards. But I agree that the tube aspect of life, and I guess it's good we have people who go into these sorts of fields.
Yep, the tube men. Yeah, there are true heroes. Not Navy SEALs, not first responders,
not the guy who the Trump the Secret Service folks.
Yep, who saved Donald Trump.
Yeah. It's the
God protected him. Let's pray right now, Phil. Pray with me right now.
It's actually the people who are in charge of those parts of the body.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. I'm glad that you're in a state now, post.
I feel good.
Operative state of satisfaction in your medical care.
I think the euphoria will wear off.
Yeah, and it's apparently you have a good doctor because they're probably
I want to shout Bryant Park Dental Association, okay. 2 West 46th Street, free plug.
Okay, and hopefully that it holds up.
Yep,
and stuff like that. Okay. Because I've been to the dentist and the guy gives me a thing and it like falls out.
Well, your cap fell off?
No, like a couple times. He's like, I don't know. I don't.
Well, you at least for whatever reason.
At least I'm not in pain.
Yeah, and you didn't have to have a tooth removed.
That's true.
So, but I'm leaning into that shame, and now I have a bionic tooth.
Well, I'm glad you're actually a hero yourself. You've made it through a traumatic and a long.
Well, and also I don't want to beat my own chest, but by coming out here and telling the story, I hope I'm making it easier for others to pursue this, because I think this is just fantastic.
And it's bold of you to do this. And soon, maybe when you feel comfortable enough, you'll be able to truly open up and confess certain things that we won't get into.
Okay, January 6th was a revolution, a freedom revolution. Okay.
But I was thinking of more personal things. But anyway.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's something you want to discuss.
No, not really.
Okay.
But we'll get into that in our next segment. Perhaps.
Yeah, that's why I think you're teasing that.
Yes.
Okay. Phil, before the break, it seemed like maybe you were the one who's trying to come up with a confessional.
No, but I have to say, we're talking about homosexuality.
Okay.
And it's been more, every summer it's more present to a certain extent in my life because of the time we spent in a town adjacent to Provincetown, the homosexual mecca.
Yeah. At this point, I think we should stop. I mean, 'cause I think our loyal listeners might be like, we talk about Provincetown a lot, but it's in your face like for a good chunk of the year.
That's true. We do spend time just 10 miles a town down there, the Cape.
And I think we've said this again before. There've been documentaries on it, on Vice and this and that. Like Provincetown now is a homosexual mecca.
In many ways.
That's a slight exaggeration.
I know. It went from
whatever. And the Hajj is July 4th. Right?
Yeah. Well, there used to be so it's I will just say this, that every time I'm there, I feel like the same thing goes through my system, but it's like, it's almost like you have to spend time. It's almost like being on like Mars, like being in this place. It's like stepping into an alien civilization, because here's the sequence of events there.
Let me just stop this for an alien to you, but one which you support. You support?
I support.
Yes.
I just find it like we went to dinner.
And do not discriminate against.
No, I don't.
Yes. And love is love.
So here's, because my son,
Joaquin,
my son, he works at a pizza place
in Provincetown
for the summer.
That's great for a kid to have a summer job.
Yeah. And he does the night shift. And here's for the listeners who are unaware, in Provincetown, I feel like the sequence of events for the average, for many of the visitors, the homosexual visitors, is basically the day goes on especially maybe weekends, but also through the summer. They get up at I don't know when, and put on nothing and walk outside very scantily clothed.
Yep.
No matter your body type. And then at 5 o'clock, they go 5 to 7 p.m. I'm not sure what they've been doing. Oh, they go to the nude beach. Mm-hmm. And then 5 to 7 p.m., there's like on the water it's called a tea dance, which is they dance.
Why do they? It's like a tea dance.
What's that? I don't know, but it's sort of a thing that looks like a boat, but it's not a boat. It's just a place where they get hammered, and they dance to like Madonna and stuff.
Yep.
And then
probably a little Cher. From what I've heard, I'm just and maybe Taylor Swift,
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Yeah.
And then
Elton John thrown.
And they get the fucking smashed. And then and I know because I drop him off there at 7, which is the end of this tea dance, and the streets are packed with large men oftentimes, but just wearing all sorts of odd things. And
name the pizzeria, because I think listeners have to Google pictures of this place.
Spiritus.
Yeah, because I've seen, you showed me pictures.
Yeah.
It feels not exaggerating.
No, and so from then, at that time, then they go and they do further drinking and stuff. And the culmination of the evening around like midnight to 2, they go at this pizza place. They all converge there, and it's like a meeting spot. And I think possibly other things go on. And so and then I picked him up after work one night just to check the scene out. And a lot of and it's really what's the word? Like a anthropological experience.
Yeah.
It's a place where it's almost imagine a city with no women. Like literally, like
the land of bears.
No kids, no women, no women. And all the men look like...
Is this just in the pizza spot or just the entire downtown?
The whole, that time, it's hundreds and hundreds of men wearing, harnesses.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I mean, it's like...
barely any clothes.
First of all, they light the pizzeria like a nightclub, right? It's like neon and pulsing lights.
Very, wearing things that are illegal to, wearing... There was a guy, people wearing nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And it's a very strange culture, in my view.
Yeah, it's strange. Well, let's be careful. It's very alien to you.
It's alien to me.
Yeah.
It's almost like being like the white student at Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something, it's very interesting.
It's interesting. And that's...
I don't want this to come out wrong, but that's why people go on safaris, right? You're like, oh my God, there's a rhino. There's a lion.
Yeah.
There's a cheetah.
Well, last week was Bear Week. So bears are that's the name for the big, it's a type of body type. Mm. So, and every summer that week on Provincetown, thousands of big-chested, hairy men descend on the town for the week.
Wow.
And they meet up, I believe that they meet up with each other, and they meet up with the less hairy, more slender types.
What are they called?
I think they might be called otters. But I'm not sure.
Funny.
But anyway, it's like a weird, again, back to the zoo analogy, it's like a primitive mating thing.
Yeah.
Involving clothes, all kinds of dress and customs and unusual music. And that's what's happening.
Well, that's good. You know what? I mean, I'm just going back to the job part of it. I think for Joaquin, this sounds like a chapter in a memoir.
No,
My summer working at a gay pizzeria in Provincetown.
And it's funny because I'm like, well, I'm always in my food brain. I'm always like, oh, that would be interesting. You could experiment with make some, fried stuff or whatever. But these guys are just smashed. They don't care. Yeah. They're just like dumping the pizza slices out the window at 2 a.m.
Well, on another level, it's also heartening.
Yes,
that really disproves that we're all just the same. Because straight guys, they just go to a bar, get hammered, and be like, "Bro,
that's true,
bro. Let's get this slice." Right?
I guess the only difference is the clothing, really.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, but everyone's got a uniform. Okay, so the Bears and the Otters, they like to wear leather Brazilian bikinis.
Yeah, that's true.
And halter tops.
Yeah.
And the frat bros wear their pastel shorts and a polo top.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their uniform, and then they go. The bros might go get a hot dog at the food cart.
Yeah.
And these guys go. The Provincetown guys go to pizzeria.
I guess the only other thing is and then there's the other culture there, which is kind of like the older wealthy gays, and they tend to wear more conservative stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's not just P-Town because my feelings doctor in Midtown.
Yeah. He goes out there?
He's actually, his last name is the same as yours.
Really?
Yeah. He has a home in, I think it's Wellfleet.
Oh, Wellfleet. Yeah. But they all go out there. The shrinks go to Wellfleet.
But is Wellfleet close to Provincetown?
Yes.
Oh.
It's pretty close to me.
Yeah. And he has a male partner.
Oh, okay. You go to a gay feelings man?
Well,
feelings doctor?
Well, I didn't pick him because of that, but
Oh, but he spends time there too.
Yeah,
I see.
And he's also, his office is by Carnegie Hall, and he's like one of these people who's like a limited partner in these like Broadway musicals. He has all these like show posters. And also, just to be clear, I didn't know. I mean, this came out in my years of talking to him.
Right.
And we talk about our families and stuff. And
so he spends time out there sometime.
Yeah, he's getting really old too. Like every time I call for an appointment, I'm like waiting for his secretary to be like, he's dead.
Really?
Yeah.
But still practicing?
Still practicing, man. I'm going to need a refill in about 90 days. Dr. R, if you're out there, shout out.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's my, I don't have much to say about that other than just that's the cultural anthropology.
Well, you know what is better than being out at some like place where everybody's the same? Yeah, it's something different. A couple miles down the road.
That's true. And that's true, yes.
Yeah, and maybe you just get outside your comfort zone. Maybe one day you don't have, doesn't mean you're gay. You could just go dress like no one's watching and maybe get hammered. Get a slice of pizza and let Joaquin drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. I love it. Love game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. I'll get him hard, show him what I got.
You said you had a get rich quick scheme or something.
It's not I had a life. This is a recipe for life, professional life success.
All right. We can start a new podcast, but go on.
So this came from my observation. Well, my life observation. When I was a child in high school, I ran a track and for a lot of years. And I spent time running the 400 race, which is
400 yards.
The Olympics are now coming up. It's one lap.
Mm-hmm. One lap of a track.
Just one lap.
Of a standard track.
A standard, yes. Yeah. A standard track. The indoor is smaller with tighter curves, 200 something. Mm-hmm. But anyway, and I was okay, I would say. But then I decided to add hurdles to that. That makes it the 400 hurdles.
Yep.
Right. And I was better at that. Not better like in terms of ability, but I did better in the races and stuff.
Relative to the competitors.
Relative to when it was just an open 400 race.
Yeah.
Because just sheer numbers, fewer people do that kind of race, right?
Yeah.
Like than the open 400 thing with no hurdles in it. Because it's just a more niche thing.
Yeah.
So this occurred to me as a possible path to success. And now that the Olympics are coming up, I was thinking that there are people going to be in the Olympics who they're all obviously outstanding athletes.
Yeah.
Hard to get there without an ability. But like some of these people who do say the 400 hurdles are not quite as fast as the people who do it with no hurdles.
Right.
Right.
So you think maybe it's like, and
I thought this occurred to me that maybe this is a path, or people could follow this prescription to life advancement. So if you see a field of some sort, say oral surgery, if you find a field of some kind, you should narrow it down.
Just get more specific.
There are fewer competitors.
Yeah.
And it's an easier path to the Olympics.
You know what? I see that. I think it could work for a while. I mean, like any rule, you can't be hard and fast in all situations. I think you just specialize more and more. Right. You don't want to get to the point where you reach the end of the tree, all the branches, and you're like the one specialist in like operating on the rear left, like the rear molar, rear upper molar.
Yeah.
But I see your point.
I guess it's just specialization is what it's called, more or less.
Well, but I mean, I guess it is kind of true because at first I was thinking that, well, or maybe you were finishing relative, like it's a smaller number, but percentile wise, you were finishing in the same percentile you were in the 400
right.
as the 400 meter hurdles. But
right.
if not, then maybe you were just that hurdling is a talent, and maybe you were slightly better at that than other people.
Yeah.
But I do believe in the end, you're at least in high school, like people who are like in the 400, but they're not doing that well. But like, well, let me try the 400 and throw these jumps in.
Yeah, because people are getting. I know of kids who are getting recruited for like 400 hurdles who would never get recruited for 400.
I got it. We're back to fencing now, and that's why all the rich kids
are
doing fencing now. It's so ridiculous. I know.
That's true. Yeah,
my sister's best friend, like her daughter, got a scholarship Division I for fencing. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Division I, like crazy.
I always wonder about that with the sports recruiting in college.
Yeah.
Because like I would get it if you're super good at football.
Yeah.
Because
that's fun to watch and it generates money.
For
I know.
The school. But how does
you couldn't pay me? You could not pay me to watch. You know what? I would watch fencing if they actually were allowed to stab each other. Like it was like
if it was fatal.
Like, no, it wasn't fatal, but it was like a type of Kevlar that like they reduced the strength, the tensile strength, so that the tip of the thing would go in like a quarter of an inch. So that you would feel the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was a little risk involved.
Yeah, like maybe not leave a permanent scar, but like something like poked you.
Yeah.
Or like when it whacked you on the arm, it left a welt.
Yeah, but how does the college have money for like a lacrosse scholarship or something? Or,
because the football team is making so much money. Football and basketball. If you have a school that's like D1 football that gets on TV and goes to bowl games, and a basketball team that goes makes it to the Sweet 16, you've made your money for
but the schools that are good at lacrosse a lot of times are no good at football.
Well, then they're just schools with good endowments.
Oh I guess they have a cushion.
I don't know why, but
maybe there's boosters.
Seems like schools that like lacrosse and sailing and crew rowing.
Yeah.
They seem to have a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't get into why or what's going on there, the economics of it.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's like boosters, people who graduated and have a financial interest, or they've donated over the years.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I want to get a scoreboard in my name.
Yeah.
At my local high school.
Yes. All right. Anything else going on?
No, I think that we should
talk?
Now is the time for us to redepart the city and perhaps gather towards the end of the summer for end of summer recap.
Yeah.
And maybe you will have some, just new things to share about what happens when you go to pick up Joaquin.
Oh, yeah, at the pizza place?
At 2 a.m. All
right, well, I don't think so, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's the show, folks. Our theme song was performed by Echo Strata. He's an incredible Brooklyn-based artist creating psychedelic alternative music. Check him out on Spotify, Apple Music, and iTunes.
Central Park trees covered in snow. Over the Hudson, the sunset glow. The smell of halal and jasmine rice. Creep on the corner, don't look so nice. Now he's pooping, why I don't know. Life's full of mysteries, now it's time for the show.
That was fucking awesome!
That was all right.
Yes!